Okay guys, I'm gonna give you a real quick video tutorial on the 6 horsepower Yamaha 2-stroke. Okay, so we're gonna throw this guy in the tank, put some mixed gas into the carburetor, and fire it up. First thing you gotta note is the arrow on the ball has to go the same direction as the fuel to make this work. When you're connecting and disconnecting the fuel hoses, you have to release this little silver clip. That's gonna prevent you from accidentally having the hose fall off, but if you try to pull the hose off without releasing this, you'll damage the engine or you'll damage the tank. Second, you see there's 2 different sizes of circles on the hose. There's 2 different sizes of circles on the engine as well, and it only fits on one way. Here's your choke. We're gonna pull the ball, or pump the ball a couple of times. They like to be started with a little bit of throttle. Here's your gear shifter on the side, neutral, forward, neutral, reverse. It has to be in neutral to start it. It has to be in neutral to pull it. Right now it's in forward. There's supposed to be a locking mechanism, but if you pull hard enough, you'll snap the safety mechanism. And then every time you pull it, you'll hear because you're braking. You've already broken all the safeties. So has to be in neutral to pull it. Now one other feature about this is it has to be in neutral to recoil it. And this is what I mean. Pull it out in neutral, put it in forward, the rope doesn't go back in. I get all sorts of guys call me and say, oh, the rope doesn't go back in. I paddled home 2 miles, I get to the cabin, I put it in neutral, the rope recoils back in, and then the engine starts. So keep that in mind. There's a kill switch on this. There is a safety tether, just like you would have on a jet ski. You could pull this out to shut it off, but that's not the ideal way to shut these guys off because you wear out the mechanism. You're better off to push the button in, and that's your kill switch. This is a tensioner for the throttle, and on these guys, you've got another tensioner on this side. This is a tensioner for your side-to-side. The 2-strokes are quite old now. The side-to-side tensioners, the bushings inside tend to get worn out, but you can still give that a shot and see if you can tighten it up. Make sure that you are nice and tight on these guys to the boat. On the side of this, you've got a safety mechanism, and this is where you would tie a rope from the motor down to the boat. This is your locking pin. So you lift it up by the hood, and then you would push this pin in, and then now your engine is going to be locked in the upper position. To get it down, you lift the engine up, you pull out the pin, and then you drop it back down. Also on the left-hand side is a shallow water drive lever. Now this guy is nothing fancy. You've only got one position, either all the way down or in shallow water drive. You do not want to go full speed in the shallow water drive setting because you'll bend the mechanism. And when you're ready to go full speed, you drop it all the way down, you make sure that these guys are nice and tight, give it a little bit of throttle, pull the choke if it's your first start of the day, fire it up. Steady stream of water coming out of the bottom, and then you go neutral, forward, neutral, reverse, and neutral again. There's your kill switch. Now one other thing you want to look for on this particular style of motor is the hood latch. You want to make sure that your hood latch mechanism is nice and tight, and that's this guy right here. A lot of times these guys loosen up inside and the mechanism might fall down and the hood might not really be secured very well to the rest of the motor. What happens too often is that the hood falls into the lake. So make sure that you've got this hood latch secured and your hood is secured, and if the hood latch is a little bit on the loose side, take a couple of rolls of electric tape and just keep the hood in place. When you do put your hood on, I see this far too often as well, the guys don't connect this in the front initially, and so it's going to be super loud if it's not connected properly, and I'll show you what I mean. The guys will take the hood off, they'll look at this thing, and then they will put it back on with the mechanism on the top, and then you've got a big gap right here, and then it's extremely loud when you're running it. So make sure that when you do hook this back on, that this goes in on the front. So guys, on this side, this is your up and down pin for your low idle adjustment set screw. As the mechanism moves up and down, you can see that it's stopping on this set screw, and most of the Yamahas have a very similar system. If you can imagine, when you throttle it up, this whole mechanism drops down, and then when you throttle it back down, the mechanism goes back the other way, and what stops it from throttling down any further is this set screw. So if you want to make the low idle go higher, you would drop that set screw down a turn, and if you want to make it go slower, you would lift it up a turn. Another troubleshooting thing sometimes on these guys is that sometimes your spark plug caps may fall off. Sometimes your spark plugs themselves might get loose, but more often the spark plug caps loosen up just from wear and tear or age. You can take a pair of pliers and actually crimp the metal inside of these a little tiny bit if you find that you're falling off continuously. Another feature on these 6 horsepowers that's interesting is if you open up these caps, when you buy this from the factory, there's a rubber cap right here. And if you look straight down, you can see a golden screw, a flathead golden screw. And that is your drain for your carburetor. So that golden screw is your drain for your carburetor. So if you end up with a bunch of water in the carburetor, maybe it was in the gas tank and it got sucked up through the line and the engine's running really, really roughly, that'd be the very first thing that I would try to check out before I take it to a mechanic. Is I would try to pop off these little rubber plugs, get in there with a long flathead screwdriver, open it up, let the gas drain out of the bottom of the carburetor or water or whatever else may be in there, close it, and then fire it up. And a lot of times if you do have the bottom of the carburetor bowl full of water and you drain it, the engine will run perfectly after that. Sometimes you might be using ethanol gas and it might separate into water, or maybe you just end up with rainwater in your tank. So that is your quick tutorial on how to run these 6 horsepower 2-stroke Yamaha outboards. And if you have any questions, send us a message.